Hello everyone and welcome back. Eating disorders in men, more common than prostate cancer as numbers continue to climb. I'll put a link to this article in the description for the video. This comes out of Australia, but I think this is really good stuff. Media celebrity and sports commentator Mark Beretta urges Australians to spot your mate in his new role as an ambassador for the Butterfly Foundation, the national charity for eating disorders and body image issues. There are an estimated 365,000 men in Australia currently experiencing an eating disorder, around 46% more than those living with or beyond a prostate cancer diagnosis. And having had a scare twice in 5 years with prostate cancer, that's a frightening statistics. The real number is likely to be considerably higher, given the higher rates of stigma and low levels of understanding among health professionals and community about eating disorders in males. Yet eating disorders remain largely invisible in men's health conversations. Mark Beretta and Butterfly are urging people to spot the signs of issues around food, exercise and body image, and intervene early in a new national campaign. Spot Your Mate is designed to spark conversations and encourage help seeking for one of Australia's largest unrecognized men's health issues. So yeah, I think I made one other video about this where we were talking about, I think it was about anorexia, right? The idea that, as a guy, you're never big enough. So a lot of men are using steroids. They want to be bigger and bigger and bigger. And now obviously we have GLP-1 and I just made a video about it, right? How there's some evidence that can help with weight loss and with and potentially with gambling and potentially with the desire to use alcohol and other substances. But on the other hand, we've got people that are younger and younger and younger using testosterone and all kinds of other things. And, you see them on social media. And, it's not that difficult to spot a guy who's using boatloads of steroids. If you've got shoulders that look like steroids and traps that look like, mountains, there's something going on there. It just isn't right. I mean, as a guy, there's only so much you can do. And look, and there's the prospect of overtraining. For years, I trained in CrossFit, right? And my third tricep tendon repair surgery in 18 months is frankly a consequence of just overtraining. I think, and I hate to say it, but I got a bit of a high. The harder I trained, the better I felt up here, but it destroyed my body. Okay. So look, here's the scar from the other two surgeries. My wife's like, listen, you're going to have to tone it down. Something has to change. But look, I'm 59 years of age. I'll be 60 in January. And truthfully, I'm trying to stay ahead of the curve. I mean, at least from the neck down, I'm doing a half-decent job. So, I get it. I totally understand it. Nobody wants to get old. Everybody wants to sort of fit a certain image. But at some point, you just got to say, it's okay to get old disgracefully. And I stole that term from an aunt of mine who gave it to me. But you get the idea where I'm going. But in any event, is there somebody in your family that has an eating disorder? It's typically women, 9 times out of 10. I don't know if we've ever had a call about a man with an eating disorder. And if we have, people don't tend to talk about it like they do with women. And we get those calls pretty regularly. So if you're a family out there and you've got a loved one with an eating disorder and you're tired of trying to get it right? How do you save them? Because eating disorders are one of those things that will kill. And I hate to be blunt, but if you've watched any of my videos in the past, you'll know I try to be honest with you, brutally honest, but just know that I come from a place of love. But causes have effects and defects have consequences. And with eating disorders, the consequences can be very, very dangerous. So that's where I'm coming from. So if you're tired of the chaos, you want to have a conversation about what we can do to help you, what options might be available, please reach out to us. If there's another issue going on in your family and I've not made a video about it, let me know. Post in the comments. I will make you a video. Because if it's affecting your family, I'm sure it's affecting somebody else's. And I make this content so you can get the information that you need. Also, in the description for the video is a link to our brand new book all about the Marchman Act. You click on the link or go to marchmanactbook.com. That's marchmanactbook.com. And it'll open up a window. You put your name, your email address in, and it'll send you the book so you can download it. I'll send you a link so you can download the book. What's neat about it is at the end of every chapter, there's a video. It's me talking about what you've just read. We spent a lot of time, energy, and resources making this thing, but I really felt like people needed to get real information about the Marchman Act, and they shouldn't have to pay to get it. So the book's there for you for free. If you like this content, please give me a thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. It helps us to get in front of more people, which means we can, save more families, save more loved ones. So please, this helps, and I'd be grateful if you could give me the thumbs up. And if you want more information about the services that we offer, please subscribe to the channel. And with that said, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.